I've been preparing bodies for burial for 12 years. I've seen every kind of death you can imagine: natural, violent, peaceful, sudden. I've sewn shut mouths that wouldn't stay closed. I've set broken bones back into place. I've made the dead look like they're sleeping. But last night was the first time a body sat up on my table, looked me directly in the eyes, and whispered, "Please don't let them bury me. I'm not ready yet." Her heart wasn't beating. Her skin was cold. The death certificate said she'd been dead for 18 hours. But she was talking to me and crying. "My name is Claire Hendricks. I'm 34, and I work at Riverside Memorial Funeral Home in Portland, Oregon. What happened last night has destroyed everything I thought I knew about death, about what comes after, about where we go when our hearts stop beating. Because the woman on my table wasn't alive, but she wasn't entirely dead either. And she's not the only one. I became a mortician because I wanted to help people. I know that sounds strange. The dead can't be helped, right? But their families can. Grief is messy and overwhelming, and someone needs to make sure that when people see their loved ones for the last time, they see them at peace. That's what I do. I give families closure. The work is solitary, quiet, methodical. Most of the time I'm alone in the preparation room with soft music playing and the hum of the ventilation system. It's peaceful in a way most people wouldn't understand. The dead don't judge. They don't complain. They don't ask questions, until last night. Her name was Evelyn Porter, 72 years old, died of heart failure in her sleep. Natural causes. No trauma, no violence, just an old woman's heart finally giving out. Her daughter had arranged everything. A simple service, cremation afterward. Standard procedure. I received the body at 4 p.m. By the time I started working on her, it was nearly 9 p.m. The funeral home was empty except for me. My boss had gone home hours ago. The lights in the front office were off. It was just me and Mrs. Porter in the back room, with its stainless steel tables and cabinets full of chemicals and tools. I'd already done the preliminary examination, filled out the paperwork, prepared my instruments. I was just about to make the first incision for the embalming process when I noticed something odd. Her hand had moved. Not much, just a slight shift of position. Fingers that had been straight were now slightly curled. I stared at it for a long moment, telling myself it was post-mortem muscle contraction. It happens sometimes, nerves firing one last time, muscles tensing and releasing. It's normal, natural, nothing to worry about. But then her chest moved. A shallow rise and fall, like a breath. I stepped back from the table, heart pounding. This couldn't be happening. I'd checked for vital signs when she arrived. No pulse, no respiration, no pupil response. She was dead. The hospital had pronounced her dead. The death certificate was signed, but her chest rose again. Fell, rose. "Mrs. Porter," I whispered, feeling ridiculous. "You don't talk to the dead. They don't answer." Her eyes opened. Not slowly, not gradually. One moment they were closed, and the next they were open, staring straight up at the ceiling. Cloudy, unfocused, but definitely open. I should have run. Should have called 911. Should have done something other than stand there frozen, watching this impossible thing happen. That's when she sat up. Her body rose from the table in one smooth motion, like someone had pulled her up by invisible strings. She swung her legs over the side and sat there, hands gripping the edge of the steel table, head tilted slightly as if she was listening to something I couldn't hear. Then she turned and looked directly at me. "Please," she said. Her voice was wrong, thin, distant, like it was coming from very far away. "Please don't let them bury me. I'm not ready yet." I couldn't move, couldn't speak. My brain was screaming that this was impossible, but my eyes were seeing it happen. "I need more time," she continued. "Just a little more time, please." "Mrs. Porter," I finally managed, You're dead. Your heart stopped 18 hours ago." "I know," she said, "but I'm not gone, not yet. Something's keeping me here. I can feel it pulling, but I'm not ready. My daughter, I need to tell her something important." She looked down at her own hands, turning them over slowly, studying them like they belonged to someone else. "This isn't right," she murmured. "This body doesn't work anymore, but I'm still here. How am I still here?" I didn't have an answer. Nothing in 12 years of mortuary science had prepared me for this moment. "What do you need to tell your daughter?" I asked, my voice shaking. Mrs. Porter's unfocused eyes found mine again. "The safe, behind the painting in my bedroom. The combination is her birthday, month, day, year. There are letters inside. Letters from her father. He wrote them before he died, one for every year until she turned 30. I was supposed to give them to her, but I forgot. I got old and I forgot, and now I'm dead and she'll never know they exist." Tears rolled down her cheeks. Real tears. How could a dead woman cry? "Tell her," Mrs. Porter whispered. "Please, tell her to look in the safe. Tell her he never stopped loving her. Tell her I'm sorry I forgot." "I'll tell her," I promised. "I swear I'll tell her." Mrs. Porter nodded slowly. Then she lay back down on the table, arranged her hands on her chest, and closed her eyes. Her chest stopped moving. Her skin went cold again, or maybe it had never warmed up. When I checked for a pulse this time, there was nothing. She was gone, really gone. I stood there for 10 minutes, watching her, waiting for her to sit up again. She didn't. I called Mrs. Porter's daughter the next morning, told her I'd been going through her mother's personal effects and found a note about the safe. I didn't mention what had actually happened. How could I? She'd think I was insane. The daughter called me back 3 hours later, crying. She'd found the safe, found the letters. 28 letters from a father she barely remembered, each one filled with love and advice and memories. The last letter was dated for her 30th birthday next month. "Thank you," she sobbed. "Thank you so much. I thought he'd forgotten about me. I thought he didn't care. But he wrote all these letters." "How did my mother know to tell you about them?" I lied, said I'd seen a note. She was too overwhelmed with emotion to question it. But I couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. Mrs. Porter had been dead. Clinically, medically dead. And yet she'd sat up, spoken to me, delivered a message that needed to be delivered. Was it a hallucination? Had I been working too many late shifts, breathing too many formaldehyde fumes? Or had something impossible actually happened? I tried to put it out of my mind. Focused on work, on routine, on the normal, explicable world of death and preservation. Then it happened again. His name was Marcus Webb, 46 years old, motorcycle accident, died at the scene. Massive head trauma, broken neck, internal injuries. There was no question he was dead. The damage was too severe. But his family wanted an open casket, which meant extensive reconstruction work. I'd been working on him for about an hour, carefully rebuilding what the accident had destroyed, when I felt someone watching me. I looked up. Marcus Webb was staring at me. His head was still at that wrong angle, his injuries still visible, but his eyes were open and focused and absolutely aware. "You see us," he said. Not a question. A statement. I couldn't speak. My hands were shaking so badly I had to set down my tools. "You see us when we're stuck," he continued. "Most people can't. Doctors, nurses, even other morticians, they just see bodies. But you see us." "Why? I don't know," I whispered. "I don't understand what's happening." "We're caught," Marcus said. "Between where we were and where we're supposed to go. Most people pass through so fast they don't even notice. But some of us get stuck. Unfinished business, unresolved guilt, things we need to do or say or fix. We can't move on until it's done." "So you're, what, ghosts?" "No." He shook his head slightly, wincing at the movement. "Ghosts are echoes. Memories burned into a place. We're still us. Still conscious. Still here, just separated from our bodies. Most of the time, no one can hear us. But you can. Why? I thought about it. Tried to remember if there was anything different about me. Anything that would explain this ability I apparently had. Then I remembered. The accident when I was 16. The car crash that killed my best friend and left me in a coma for 3 days. The doctors said I'd been clinically dead for 90 seconds before they brought me back. I'd died, just briefly, just for a moment. But I'd crossed that threshold and come back. Maybe that's what let me see them. Maybe I was standing with one foot in each world, the living and the dead. I died once, I told Marcus. When I was 16, just for a minute or two. He nodded slowly. That would do it. You've been where we are. Part of you remembers. What do you need? I asked. What's keeping you here? My daughter, he said. She's 7. I was on my way to pick her up from her mother's house when the truck ran the red light. She's going to think I forgot about her. She's going to think I chose not to come. I need her to know it wasn't my fault. I need her to know I was coming. I'll tell her, I promised. What's her name? Lily Webb. Her mother is Rachel Carr. They live on Maple Street. He gave me the address. Tell Lily that Daddy was coming. Tell her he loves her. Tell her to be brave. His eyes closed. His body went still again. But this time I saw something. A shimmer in the air above him, like heat rising from pavement. It hovered for a moment, then drifted upward and vanished. Marcus Webb was gone. Really gone. Whatever had been keeping him here had released him. I visited Lily the next day. Told her mother I was from the funeral home, that I'd been with Marcus at the end, that he'd asked me to deliver a message. It wasn't exactly a lie. Lily was a tiny thing with her father's dark eyes. She listened quietly as I knelt down and told her what her daddy had said, that he was coming to get her, that he loved her, that she should be brave. She cried. So did her mother. But Lily said something that made me believe she understood on some level. I felt him go away, she whispered. Last night, I felt him leave. He was here and then he wasn't. Is he okay now? Yes, I told her. He's okay now. And I believed it was true. After Marcus, they started coming more frequently. Once you see one ghost, apparently you see them all. Or at least, you see the ones who are stuck. Over the next few weeks, 4 more bodies sat up on my table. 4 more dead people who weren't quite ready to leave. Each one had something they needed to do, something they needed to say, someone they needed to reach. A mother who needed me to tell her son she was proud of him. A husband who needed me to tell his wife where he'd hidden the ring he'd been planning to give her for their anniversary. A teenager who needed me to tell her best friend that the overdose was an accident, that she hadn't meant to die, that she was sorry. I delivered every message, kept every promise, and each time I watched that shimmer of light rise up and disappear, carrying whatever remained of that person to wherever they were supposed to go. But I also started noticing something else, something that scared me more than the talking corpses. Every time I helped one of them move on, I felt a little colder, a little more tired, like part of my own life force was being drained away. And in the mirror, my reflection was starting to look different, paler, thinner. My eyes had dark circles that makeup couldn't hide. My hands shook when I tried to hold anything. I was helping the dead cross over, but something was crossing back. The worst one was Helen Martinez. She was only 19. Car accident, same as Marcus, but worse. Her body was so damaged that even with all my skills, I couldn't make her look like herself. The casket would have to be closed. But when I was alone with her, she opened her eyes. I'm scared, she said immediately. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. There's a light, but I'm afraid of it. What if it's nothing? What if there's nothing after this? I don't know, I admitted. I've never been all the way, but everyone I've helped. They seemed peaceful when they let go, not scared, just ready. What if I'm not ready? Then you stay, I said. But Helen, you can't stay in your body. It doesn't work anymore. And if you stay too long, you won't be able to leave at all. You'll be trapped. Forever. She started crying. I had so many plans. I was going to travel, fall in love, have kids. I was going to do so many things, and now I'm just gone. It's not fair. No, I agreed. It's not fair. Death never is. But Helen, those things you wanted to do, the love, the travel, the experiences, you can't have them as a ghost. You can only have them by moving on, by going to whatever comes next. You really think there's something next? I thought about all the people I'd helped, the way they looked when they finally let go, the peace on their faces. Yes, I said. I think there's something next, and I think it's better than being stuck here, watching life happen without you. Helen was quiet for a long time. Then she nodded. Okay, she whispered. Okay, I'm ready. She closed her eyes. The shimmer appeared, stronger than usual, bright enough that I had to look away. When I looked back, she was gone, and I collapsed. I woke up in the hospital 3 hours later. My boss had found me on the floor of the preparation room, unconscious, barely breathing. They ran tests but couldn't find anything wrong. My heart was fine. My brain was fine. I was just depleted, exhausted on a level that sleep wouldn't fix. The doctor said I'd been working too hard, suggested I take some time off. My boss agreed, but I knew the truth. Helping the dead was killing me. Every time I acted as a bridge between worlds, something crossed from their side to mine. Death was bleeding into me, slowly, steadily, pulling me closer to the other side with each person I helped. I should have stopped. Should have quit the job, moved away, found a new career where I wouldn't be surrounded by the dead. But I couldn't, because they kept coming. They kept sitting up on my table, looking at me with desperate eyes, begging for help I was the only one who could give. How could I say no? How could I turn away someone trapped between worlds, someone who just needed one more chance to make things right? It's been 3 months since Mrs. Porter sat up. I've helped 17 people cross over since then, 17 messages delivered, 17 souls freed, and I'm dying. I know I am. I can feel it in my bones, in my blood. Every day I'm a little more tired, a little more cold. I've lost 15 pounds I didn't have to lose. My hair is starting to fall out. I look in the mirror and sometimes I see my skull showing through my skin. The dead are pulling me toward them. Every time I help one cross, I get a little closer to crossing myself. But here's the thing. Here's what keeps me doing this, even though I know it's killing me. Last week, I helped a woman named Sarah move on. She'd been murdered, and she needed me to tell the police where her body was hidden so her family could have closure. After she left, after that shimmer of light rose and vanished, I felt something warm flow into me for just a second. Not the usual cold drain, but warmth, life, energy. And I heard Sarah's voice, faint but clear. "Thank you, you gave me peace. Let me give you something back." She'd given me some of her life force. The energy she'd been clinging to, the thing that had kept her conscious after death. She'd gifted it to me as she moved on. It wasn't much. It bought me maybe a day or two, but it was something. And it made me realize something important. I'm not just helping the dead. They're helping me. Every soul I help cross over can choose to leave me a little of their energy. A little piece of the life they're letting go of. It's a trade. They get peace. I get time. And as long as I keep helping them, as long as I keep standing at this threshold between worlds, I can keep going. Day by day, soul by soul. I don't know how long I can sustain this. Whether I'll eventually run out of borrowed time. Whether one day I'll help someone cross and won't have the strength to come back. But until then, I'll keep doing what I do. I'll keep preparing bodies. Keep listening when the dead speak. Keep delivering messages. Keep helping souls find their way home. Because someone has to stand at the border between life and death. Someone has to help the ones who get stuck. Someone has to be the bridge. And apparently, that someone is me. Last night, a new body came in. Thomas Chen, 58, heart attack. His family wanted a quick service. I was alone with him in the preparation room when his eyes opened. "You're the one," he said. "The one who helps us." "Yes," I replied. "I don't question it anymore. Don't waste time being shocked." "I need to tell my son something," Thomas said. "But first, you need to know something. About what you're doing, about the price you're paying." "I know the price," I said. "Every time I help someone, I get closer to death." "No," Thomas said. "That's not the whole truth. The dead can sense you now, not just the ones on your table, all of them. Every spirit that's stuck, every soul that's lost, they can feel you like a beacon, and they're coming." My blood went cold. What do you mean they're coming? More and more will find you, seek you out, die in ways that bring them to your table. Because you're their only chance, their only hope. You're the bridge, and bridges get crowded. He sat up slowly. You need to stop, or you need to learn to say no, because if you don't, they'll drain you completely. They'll take everything you have, and it won't be enough. There are too many stuck souls in the world. You can't save them all. But I have to try, I whispered. Thomas shook his head sadly. That's what the last one said. The woman who had your gift before you. She helped everyone who asked. Couldn't turn anyone away. They found her dead in a room just like this, surrounded by bodies, every last spark of life drained from her. The dead had loved her to death. How do you know this? Because I'm not stuck, Thomas said quietly. I already moved on. I'm on the other side, but I came back to warn you. We can do that sometimes if it's important enough. And this is important. You have to learn to say no. You have to set boundaries, or you'll end up like her, a ghost helping ghosts trapped forever in the threshold. He lay back down. Tell my son I love him. Tell him the business account password is Dragon1976. He'll know what it means. Then he was gone. For real this time. Back to wherever he'd come from. And I was left alone in the preparation room, surrounded by bodies, wondering how many more dead people were out there right now, sensing my presence, making their way toward me. It's been 1 week since Thomas warned me. In that week, 7 bodies have come through Riverside Memorial. 7 bodies that all needed my help. I've said no to 2 of them, told them I couldn't help. Watched them sink back into their bodies, trapped, unable to move on. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. But Thomas was right. I can't save everyone. I can't be everyone's bridge. I have to choose. Have to save my strength for the ones who need it most. The murder victims. The children. The people with urgent messages that could save the living. I'm learning to say no. Learning to live with the guilt of leaving souls trapped. And I'm learning something else. Something terrifying. Every time I say no to a soul, every time I refuse to help, I feel them. Remember me. Resent me. Hate me for being their only hope and choosing not to help. The dead are starting to turn against me. The ones I refuse to help, the ones still trapped, they're angry. And yesterday, I came to work to find a message written on my preparation room mirror in condensation. You can't say no forever. Eventually, you'll need us. And we remember who turned us away. I don't know what that means. Don't know what the dead might do to someone like me, someone who exists between their world and mine. But I know this. I opened a door I can never close. I became a bridge the dead could cross. And now that bridge is burning and I'm standing in the middle, surrounded by flames on both sides. I'm Claire Hendricks. I'm a mortician. And I'm not sure if I'm one of the living anymore, or if I'm becoming something else. Something caught between worlds, just like the souls I help. All I know is that tonight, 3 more bodies are coming in. And I'm terrified to find out which ones will sit up, which ones will ask for help, and which ones will be angry that I helped others and not them. The dead are watching me now, all of them. The ones I saved and the ones I didn't. And I have no idea what comes next.